All right, today we are digging into a pretty radical idea from a piece called The Biological Secret of Wealth Leakage. And it puts forward this wild idea that the reason your money seems to just disappear, well, it might have nothing to do with willpower and everything to do with what's happening inside your own body. You know that feeling, right? You get your paycheck, you pay all the important bills, and you think, okay, I'm doing pretty good this month. But then, somehow, by the time the next payday rolls around, you're looking at your account balance, just scratching your head wondering, where did it all go? Well, the source we're looking at today actually gives this whole frustrating experience a name and a cause that is probably going to surprise you. So what is this thing? The author calls it wealth leakage. And honestly, that's the perfect way to describe it, isn't it? It's that slow, almost invisible drip, drip, drip on your finances that you can feel happening, but you can't always pinpoint where it's coming from. And let's focus on those keywords, unintentional and unnoticed. See, this isn't about the big stuff, like your rent or your mortgage. We're talking about that daily coffee run, that subscription you totally forgot about, or that little thing you bought online that seemed like no big deal at the time. Those are the leaks. And this is what makes it so dangerous. You can see a big expense coming. You can plan for it. But wealth leakage, it's sneaky. It's like death by a thousand cuts. Each little purchase is so small you barely feel it, but you add them all up over a month or a year, and you've got a serious financial problem. Okay, so we get the what, but now for the why. And I think for most of us, our gut reaction is to just blame ourselves, right? A lack of willpower or discipline. But this is where our source material flips the script. It suggests the real cause isn't about our character. It's about our chemistry. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. What if your struggle to save isn't because you're bad with money? What if it's just how your brain is literally wired to react in certain moments? This totally reframes the whole conversation. It's not about feeling guilty anymore. It's about understanding what's going on under the hood. And here it is, the core theory. The argument is that so much of our spending is a gut reaction, a subconscious impulse. We're either trying to get away from a bad feeling, like stress, or we're chasing a quick feeling of pleasure. And our brain knows that a small, easy purchase can deliver that feeling instantly. It becomes a biological loop, not really a logical choice. So here's how it actually works on a chemical level. Let's say you're stressed out. Your body's pumping out this hormone, cortisol. To fight that crummy feeling, your brain starts looking for a quick fix, something to make you feel better. And hey, buying something can do that. That little purchase triggers a release of dopamine, that's the feel-good chemical, and boom, you've created this powerful, addictive little cycle. Now, add on top of that something called decision fatigue. After a long day of making choices at work and at home, your brain is just tired. So it defaults to the easiest, most rewarding option, which is often just to spend. So if this is a biological problem, are we just stuck with it? Is there a biological solution? Well, the source says yes. Absolutely. It actually lays out a 21-day protocol. And the goal isn't just to use brute force willpower, but to actually get in there and rewire those deep-seated pathways in your brain. Let's break down how this works, because it's pretty clever. It's all built around the idea that our brains can change. So for the first week, you don't try to change anything. You just watch. You track every single cent you spend, not to judge yourself, but to find the triggers. When are the leaks happening? Are you stressed? Bored? Tired? Then, in week 2, you introduce one simple rule, a mandatory 10-minute pause before any purchase that isn't an absolute necessity. That little gap is crucial for breaking the impulsive biological reaction. And then finally, in week 3, you start to actively rewire. You replace the old spending habit with a new, healthier one that still gives you a little reward, like going for a walk or listening to a favorite song. You're building a new path for your brain to follow. Okay, so we've gone through this really interesting theory and its solution, but what does it all mean for you? What's the big financial takeaway here? Let's just do a quick recap. So, to wrap it all up, we put a name to the problem, that silent, super frustrating drain called wealth leakage. Then, we explored the really mind-blowing cause, that this isn't about being undisciplined, but about our body's own stress and reward systems doing their thing. And finally, we looked at the solution, a clear, step-by-step plan to work with our biology instead of fighting against it, so we can finally plug those leaks for good. And really, that's the big idea to walk away with. This whole concept challenges us to stop blaming ourselves and start understanding ourselves. By thinking about this as a biological challenge, it gives us a new and maybe a much more effective way to get a handle on our financial health. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What if the real key to mastering your money isn't found in your wallet, but in your own DNA?